Hey teachers, welcome to Notebook LM. This is a quick tour to just kind of show you some of the things that Notebook LM can do. It's pretty amazing. You go to notebooklm.google and click on Try Notebook LM. And then you'll see in here I have some notebooks already made. But what you want to do is create a new notebook. And then you're going to look for your files. So what Notebook LM is, it's kind of like a AI that has guardrails. So you give it the information that you want it to search. You can download it from websites, files, wherever. I'm going to specifically use one of my PowerPoints that I would be using for class. So now this notebook will only pull from this PowerPoint. It's about the causes and effects of migration. It's for AP World History. This is really, really great because now my students will only, when I give them something from this Notebook LM, they will only have access to what I want them to know, not the whole internet. Right? So it kind of takes this information and it will put it into this notebook. Now, here's the power of how to use Notebook LM. You can type questions and you can ask it to make different activities with this. Or over here, there are all kinds of things that Notebook LM already has pre-programmed for you. So for example, I can make an audio overview, which will be a podcast of this. And then I can download it and have students listen to it. Let's see, right here it says, what should the AI host focus on in this episode? So I want them to explain the migrant policies. So I'm going to, let's see, analyze. Yeah, let's do this one. Explain the, I guess I got to press tab. Let's do this one. Contrast the experience of different migrant groups within this historical era. That's what I want the podcast to focus on. And I want them to I want them to do a deep dive. Let's do that. So press generate. And what's really cool about this podcast feature is that it sounds so real. Like it's unbelievable how real it sounds. So it's taking a little bit of time to generate the audio overview. I also started generating an infographic and a mind map. The mind map was really quick, so I'm going to show you that real quick. But basically what it does is a clickable mind map that students could use to look at the different aspects of what is in that presentation. So this would be a great way for them to study. They could list the causes of migrations are labor system and challenges of diaspora. They could say that in their head and they could check their answer. Global migrant groups, who are they? Oh my goodness, this is just awesome. I love it. So you're going to want to check through here and make sure that it's correct information. However, it should be because it's basing it on what you added in there. And let's download this and see if we can actually use it. Oh, okay. So I think when you download it, it's going to be an actual full mind map. So it will be whatever is on the screen. You'd have to open all of these up in order for it to be the full mind map. But this would be great to put in their notebook so that they could have it in their notebook. Or you could have them take notes as you're presenting it. So you could use this instead of a PowerPoint if you wanted to. It doesn't have any visuals though. So maybe you could use it some way that the kids can add in their own visuals or something like that. But that is really cool. Then I wonder, can you share this? I don't know if I can share this or not. Let's look and see if there's any place. I like the content. That was good. It doesn't look like there's a place that you can share it. Now, if students have access to Notebook LM, then they could make their own mind map based on this. But some districts might have this blocked since it's AI. So I'm not sure if they would be able to do that. All right, so now we're still generating the audio and the infographic. Let's see what flashcards look like. Flashcards, you can have, levels of difficulty. That's pretty good. You can add in like what the topic should be. I'm just going to generate it from my source. Also, the other cool feature of Notebook LM is that you can have a lot of different sources over here. I'm just choosing to only have this source because this is what I want the AI to base all the information on that it's pulling. But if you have a research paper or, you know, you're pulling from a bunch of different sources for an activity of some sort for your students, you can absolutely have more than one source in your notebook. All right, I just finished my flashcards. I believe that's what these are. And so let's check those out and see what those look like. Oh, this looks like I can share. Oh no, this is my infographic. Oh, how cute is this? I love it. Okay, so here's your infographic. That is so cute. I love it. I think the kids would love this because it's just so fun and it's on point for the themes of today. So, what I'm going to do is download this. Now, let's say that there is something in here that the AI got wrong that I don't like. What I can do now is take this over to Canva. I just learned about this yesterday and I'm really, really hoping that it works well. I'm going to do a, what custom size was, I don't know what size that was. Let's just put in infographic. Yeah, we'll just do digital infographic. That one might be too long. I don't know. We'll see. And then we're going to insert or upload this PDF. And then I'm going to drop it in there. Hopefully I can remember how to do this. I saw it on TikTok. It was really cool. So I've got my infographic in here. Now, I'd probably change this size if I was actually going to do this for students. But let me see if I can find where this tool is. Hold on just a second. Okay, to get to the magic layers, what you're going to do is click on your PNG that you just downloaded, click edit, and then click magic layers. Canva is going to look for different elements of this image and turn them into different layers. It's so amazing. Hold on while it works. And check this out. I've got all of these layers now that if I don't like a specific image or I don't like what this wording is, I can change it now. Oh my goodness, it's so awesome. I used to spend hours in Photoshop doing stuff like this, and now we don't have to. So, for example, this is spelled wrong, coursed. I think that's how you spell it. Am I how you spell it? I think that's how you spell it. So that's a good example of how you might have to edit something. Also, right here, that looks kind of funky. I might change that. See if it can change, remove effect. Oh no, I guess I can't change that. Oh, it's just on there twice. So I'm just going to delete that. And you can kind of just clean it up this way. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I just love it. The other thing you could do too is you could make this into a sketch note for students. And what that is like notes that have pictures on it. So this is really, really good for EB students. And what you could do here is I can make a copy of this. So I'm going to say this is the infographic. And then I'm going to make a copy. And on this one, I'm going to call this one the sketch note. And delete these so that when I print this for students, they can write it in here instead of having me give it to them. So now they will have the note like template with these pictures on it, which is really great because now EB students, if they don't know what a contract is, this kind of gives them a little bit of a clue, right? And you could do this in different styles. When you get into Notebook LM, it gives you all kinds of options for the infographic. I chose this one just because I thought it was cute, but you can do anime, instructional, all kinds of different ones, or just let it auto generate. Let's do that and see what it would do. You can do different kinds of detail. Let's do detailed and see how that works. So literally you could have Notebook LM make one of these for your academic classes and then make one for your AP class. You could have it on different levels. You could tell it to bring it down to a different reading level. I mean, the options are endless on this. It's just so wonderful. But what I would love to do is try this out with some students and see how it works and see how they like having these images in here. I think that would be a really, really cool way to kind of pull them into their notes versus just giving them a skeleton of notes that's kind of boring. This makes it a little bit more fun. All right. Let's see if our where's that? Oh yeah. Okay. So here's our podcast. Our podcast is ready. Are you excited about this? I'm so excited. I can't wait to listen to this podcast. Okay, here we go. Oh, and they also have interactive mode. I'll show you that here in a minute. First. All right, so you kind of get a little bit of a gist of what that sounds like. It sounds so real, it's crazy. Now, what is even better is this interactive mode. You can pull this up, and at any point in time in the PowerPoint, I can join as a listener. So check this out. Yeah, hey, I was wondering about maps in general. Can you talk about that a little bit more? There? Hey, can you talk about maps a little bit more? So, what's really cool about that is students could interact with this podcast and ask questions while they're studying something. It would be so cool. Now, this podcast is a little bit off the topic of imperialism, so I would probably generate this again and be a little bit more specific about what I wanted to focus on, maybe like migration in general, or I mean, in migration specifically, or the Chinese Exclusion Act. You can do all of that within the creation tool, but I just wanted to kind of do it quick for you guys. Now, you can also download the audio overview. That wouldn't allow it to be interactive, but once again, if students have access to Notebook LM, they can do all of this to study. It's just such a cool thing. The other thing, let's see, I think we got the flashcards ready. Let's see what those look like. Okay, so we've got, oh, it keeps track of your score. Oh, that's really cool. So it gives you 50 flashcards. Let's see if I can definitely expand the view. Doesn't look like I can download these, which is a bummer because if your students don't have access to this, then they would have to do it themselves, or they couldn't do it themselves. But if they do have access to Notebook LM, this is a great way to study, and they can kind of have a competition with each other. They can see what their answer is. So during the era of imperialism, high demand for led directly to, and then they'd say their answer, exploitation. Did they spell that right? Yeah. Oh man, I'm spelling. And then you can even ask it to explain. How cool is that? And the AI will come over here and explain it. So Notebook LM is a great study partner for our students, but I don't know. Some districts probably have it blocked. I know ours does right now, but hopefully they will open it up. Then you can save this as a note. You can ask it more questions. I mean, it's just the options are endless here with Notebook LM. It's so cool. All right, and then let's see. I think we did another infographic. Let's see what this one looks like. Here's another infographic. Oh, this one's kind of cool. So this one's a little bit more detailed. So this is something that I might give to my AP kids. Look at these pictures. Wow, this is just fantastic. I absolutely love this. And this would be a really cool sketch note too. Yes, I love it. I love it. I would totally use this as a sketch note. Let's download that. And you can also share it over here. That's really cool. So if I want to just share this specifically with my students, this would also be another cool thing to make for, different ones. You could have the same notes, but with different images, and kids could kind of choose what sketch note works best with their personality or with how they learn. I mean, it just would be such a cool differentiation tool. Totally geeking out about this. You can make quizzes. Ooh, this is an interactive one. That's cool. So once again, if students have access to this, this is something that you definitely want to use with them, and show them how to use it so that they can quiz themselves. And it kind of becomes like their own little tutor, which is fantastic, because then I can go down here and ask it all kinds of questions. I could, just really go through that stuff, that stuff, those sources that you put in there. Another great use for this Notebook LM that I just thought of, if you have kids that are doing research, they could put their research in here and have it analyze it and have them help it with suggestions of how to debate and things like that. Obviously, we want to teach students how to use this correctly so that they aren't plagiarizing, but what a huge help this would be. I wish I would have had this in college. It would have made studying so much more fun. So here's a little trick if you're trying to figure out how to make the Canva canvas the size of your infographic. If you go in here and you click this little button right here, or the little, it will show you the width is 10.9 and the height is 6.1. And so I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to go to resize and custom and see if this works. 10.9. There we go. Perfect. So now that is the exact size of my infographic. And if I want to turn this into Sketchnotes, once again, I just make it into layers. One last feature that you can show students if they have access to Notebook LM is this quiz feature right here. And it's really cool because it will let students answer and it tells them if it's right or if it's wrong. They can also interact with the AI and ask it to explain something. You can share a notebook with students if your students have access, once again, and you can make them just viewers. You can also grab the link and share it that way. So if you don't want them to be able to change it, viewer is a great option. All right, that's just a little tour of Notebook LM. I hope it was super helpful for you. Please email me or reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much.